Welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, thank you for clicking. Today's video has been requested by quite a few people, just asking if I'll make a video on the install of the back button kit and the digital triggers at the same time. So if you've already installed these digital triggers, they have upgraded a couple of little parts, which are these pieces there. Now, you get spares in, so if your friends have got a kit as well, you could just give them your spares. But if you do want to get some, I will put the email address in the description, so you can send Extreme Rate a message and they'll send you them straight out. If you want to know how to install these, in the description I'll put the timestamp of where you install these. Now, the same thing as always, I'll do a quick little unboxing and then we'll just get straight to the install. So first off, we'll open the back button box, and this time I've gone for white. Now, I've already checked and the white isn't exactly the same as the one on the control pad. It's a little bit different, but I knew it would be anyways. So that's what this white looks like. And I didn't go for the texture on this, I've just gone for the smooth, but you can go for the texture if you want. If I compare these, you can see the colour difference. It's not a huge colour, this is more like a sort of grey colour, but I'm happy with this. So I'll move that to one side. Inside here, you just get what you're using for the back buttons, the paddles I should say. Another thing, inside here, make sure you've got these little bars. If I can move them around a little bit so you can see better. There's little tiny bars inside this bag. Make sure you've got these before you install it, because I've read a couple of comments where people have said they haven't got the bars. I've always had 4 inside here. I've always had spares, so if anyone I knew did need them, I'd just give them straight to them. As always, with any Extreme Rate product, you get a 1-year warranty. And inside this little one is obviously your main ribbon cable and just the cables that you're going to be changing for the triggers. You can remap it to, solder for L3 and R3, but I'm not going to do any soldering. I'm just going to install as it is. If I move them to one side, and then I'll show you what you get inside this one. So then parts that I mentioned are these ones on the bottom, and you do get spares. So there's the 2 spares. Inside here, you just get some spare screws. You get your prying tool and a screwdriver. Another little 1-year warranty card. And that's the little tiny pieces that you're going to need. Actually, you can't even see them due to this bag. But they're the tiny little pieces that you're going to need for the digital triggers. I'm going to tidy everything up and then we're just going to go straight to the install. I'm set up and ready to go. I've taken them little bits off. All I've done was just twist and then they come straight off. But you can use some scissors if you want. If I come a little bit closer, I'll be able to show you which bits I've taken off. So you get spares of all these, but I've taken the ones that look like a U. I've taken the new uprated bits and these little circle ones, and they're all down there. And another thing is you need 4 normal screws. So they're the normal ones, hopefully you can see, and then these ones are the skinny ones. So them ones are to hold the actual back bit on, and these ones hold the board for the triggers. So I'm just going to keep them all together. And then I've got me 2 little rods down there. I'm going to press my zoom button again. Move this to one side. Now we're going to go straight to opening the control pad. The way I like to do it is just hold it like this. Get your prying tool, put it in one corner and just press down, and then it'll just come over like that. And then same again on this side, just press it in and then that comes out. And then this line along here, if you want to put the prying tool in and just ease it out a little bit, you don't have to be really hard, just ease it out as much as you can. So if I go along there, this one's brand new, this control pad hasn't been opened. I've got literally control pads everywhere and this one's brand new. So it is, if it is a little bit tough, don't worry, it will come out. Just take your time. And then that just lifts straight over. Then you've got to remove L1 and R1. The way you can do that is just put your prying tool underneath. Put your thumb on top of here and just go from left to right. And then that'll come straight off. Same with this one, prying tool underneath, left to right, come straight off. Now, if I zoom again, you've got 4 screws. You've got, where's my screwdriver? You've got 1 here. You've got 1 over here. And then if I flip the control pad upside down, you've got a 1 there and a 1 over here. So I'm going to quickly remove these. Once you've removed all 4 of them screws, you've got 2 tiny little tabs. You've got 1 there and a 1 there. All you want to do, your prying tool again, just put it underneath this tab and then just lift up a little bit. I've actually got my thumb pressing on this, so I'm putting a little bit tension, pushing it backwards. So let's do that again. And there, I can feel it came. And then now all you want to do, once you know this is lifted over them tabs, just work the prying tool inside here. So I'm going to put it in there. that cracks that side, and then I'm going to put it in there, and that cracks that side. So now I know this is cracked, so all I've got to do is just pry this apart, like so. Don't worry if it makes a noise, you're not going to break anything, it's just the way these come apart. And then this just lifts over, so there you go, that just lifts over, and then you can just put that to one side, or you can put that in the box if you want. Next, you're going to be removing the battery. Hopefully I'm focused on that. The way I like to do this as well is put my thumb down here just for a little bit leverage, and then just lift that up. Now it's connected over here on the right hand side, hopefully you can see that. And then the way I'm going to remove this is just give it a gentle wig. There you go, or a wiggle I should say. So that's removed, just put that to one side. And then you've got a little screw what's holding in place here. I'm going to remove that. Now it's totally up to you if you want to leave that screw in or take it out, it's totally up to you. There's a little ribbon cable down here, and the way I'm going to remove that is just keep your finger on the battery tray and then just put it underneath that and then just gently lift it up, and then that should just come straight out. There you go, that one is out, and then I'm just going to move it down so I can get the battery tray out. And there you go, and then I've left the I've left the screw in there, put that to one side. And then that's that little ribbon cable that I was talking about. Now you've got another 4 cables here. You've got this one here, you've got the one on the right hand side, the one on the left, and then your last one is on the top. So I'll remove all them. I've got some tweezers actually because I have a little bit difficulty sometimes to get them out. So top one first, I'm going to pull from both sides. Oh, it came out quite easy. I'm impressed with that. And I always like to bend this up a little bit. It's just when you're removing this, sometimes it gets caught. You've got these two on your left and the right. I'm going to actually try with my fingers. So I'm not getting a very good grip on it. It's out, but I'm not getting a very good grip. Now these have got tiny little tabs on the side of them there, so it gives you a little bit of a better grip. Same with this one. Don't know if you can see there, but it's a tiny little tab. So I'm going to get my finger around that, and then just go left to right, really gently. And then that one's up. And then last but not least, this little one down here. I'm just going to use the tweezers for that one. So this one down there, and that one lifts straight up. Now you've got 2 screws on both sides. You've got a 1 here, and you've got a 1 over there. So I'm just going to quickly remove them. Once you've removed them, you just want to lift this board up. The way I like to do that is you've got 2 tiny little tabs on both sides. You've got a 1 on the left here and a 1 on the right. So I'm just going to hold my finger on the board up on the top left hand corner here. Press that little tab in, and then I can see there that this is lifted up. And then on the right hand side, I'm going to do exactly the same. Just push that little tab in, if I can actually see it. There you go, and then that just lifts up like so. Now hidden behind here, you do have another 2 screws. These ones are silver, so you can't get them mixed up. You always know where they go. So you've got 1 here, and you've got a 1 over there. I'm just going to quickly remove them. Once them screws are removed, just push the board back in place, and then you can just lift the whole thing out. So maybe start from one of the corners. But like I say, watch out for this ribbon cable, make sure you don't get it caught. And then this, just put to one side, you don't have to do anything on here. Now what we're going to do is focus on the triggers. Now the way you remove these, I'm going to hold my finger on the back of here. You've got 2 screws on the front. Don't know if you can see them, hopefully you can. You've got 1 there and a 1 there, same over this side. I'm just going to remove these 2 screws. When you do remove them screws, obviously this will come out. I'm just going to move that over there. Now, if I'm focused on this, so if I can get a little bit closer, what you want to do is get your tweezers, and you've got a tiny little ribbon cable here. You just want to lift this up. So I'm going to move that up there. And then hidden behind this ribbon cable, you've got a little tiny screw. Remove that screw, and then if you turn this over, you've got another 3 screws. You've got 1 here, 1 here, and 1 there. So just remove them 3. Once you've removed them, you just lift this up, which is the case, and hidden behind here, you've got another tiny little bit. This is just for your haptic feedback. It goes left and right. This bit might be a little bit tricky for you because there's a cog on it that you can get it a little bit confused with. So I'm going to remove that. And then you've got a bar, what's here? I'm just going to grab this with the tweezers. That bar comes straight out. And then this little bit should just come straight off. Oh, I've dropped it. The trigger will come straight off. I'm going to have to pause this because my camera is flashing. 2 seconds. Right, sorry about that. My phone only records in 10 minutes when I'm going on 4K. So I've removed that bit, and you can see I've left the cog in. Now what I'm going to do is just keep your finger on the cog on the left hand side. And then inside here, you've got your conductor bit. What I'm going to, hopefully you can see, I'm just removing that with the tweezers. I'm putting that to one side. And then now this little bit, it should just lift up like that. And then just put this to one side. And then if I can find me other bits where I've put them, I don't know where I've put them. Right, I've got them, these little bits. I forgot to take them out the bag. Now these, you can't get mixed up. They go in both ways. Or I should say both sides. So keep your finger on the cog. I'm just going to put this inside of here. And then I'm just going to press it down a little bit with my tweezers just to make sure it's flush. There you go, that's pressed down. Now for these new little bits. Now these new little bits go in this corner here. Hopefully you can't see, but they go down there. They are really tricky to get in. You've got to go, well, the way I'm doing it is I'm pushing in left, because you see this little bit there, that sort of like pushes in. So I'm going to go left to right, because I have read a few comments on the latest video when people have said, how the hell do they go in? They just are they're really awkward. So hopefully I can get this on the camera to show you what they look like. So that's it in, trying to move around best I can. But like I say, I think the reason is something to do with this ribbon cable. I think it was lifting up. So they just push in. That's as far as they can go in. Hopefully you can see there. So that's it. I'm just going to hold it still for a second so you can see it. And then we're going to fit on, what have we got? We've got R2. We're going to get this little bit. And inside here, we've got two little holes. I'm just trying to get this best on the camera. So here you've got two little holes. That's where you're going to put this little piece. So that one that kind of looks like the U. So I'm going to, sorry if this isn't, I'm trying to look through the camera and fit it at the same time. How the hell am I going to do this? But you know what, I'm just going to fit it and then show you. Oh, my hands came out. I can't hold anything still today. Right, there we go, I've done it. Sorry about that. So that's what that should look like. It just literally presses in. It's just for when you press the trigger, it presses the little button down. So that's what that looks like. You just put it in. The way it does go, because you kind of put it the wrong way. On these, you've got a little tab, what sticks out on the side there. It's so hard to show this off. Probably best holding it with tweezers. So if you look there, it's kind of like an L shape. You want that pointing outwards, if that makes sense. I'll show you on the next side. Now all I'm going to do is put the trigger back in. So I'm going to hold the trigger. I'm going to lift it over this little lip here. And then just press down. And then we need to put that bar back in. So I've got the bar. Make sure this hole, if you can't see the hole there, make sure the bar goes straight through the hole and make sure that's lined up. So there, that pushes straight in. Just press the trigger. You'll feel it. You'll know it's in. Yeah, the cogs fell out. That's what I didn't want to happen, but I'm not really overly bothered. Right, I'm going to put the cog back in. Doesn't really matter how that goes in. Come on, silly cog. Right, the cog is in. And where's it gone? This little bit on the cog, you've got teeth. You've got a one there, a one there, a one there, one there, and a one there. This end bit is where it goes. So this, the end bit goes on that bit, because if you put it in wrong, you won't be able to turn it left and right. So I'm just going to put that on the end bit and then put it back over the bar. So the way it should work is when you press that, it'll go all the way that way and all the way that way. See, it's got full motion. Now what you want to do is put this back on the cover. Press that in place. And then put these 3 screws back in. So if you bear with us a second, I'll put them screws back in. When them 3 screws are in, just double check that this works. Just press down on the trigger and it's just a little tiny click. Now on this side, you just want to put this last screw back in. And then this little ribbon cable that you took off, well, this is the new one, you just want to put back in. So hopefully you can see that. I'm just going to line it up and then just press it down, and there we go. That's in place there. Like I say, just make sure that works. Then if we grab this case again, and this just goes back in that way, and then put your finger behind it, and then just line them holes up, and then put the 2 screws back in. Now you want to do exactly the same on the opposite side. So I've got my hand behind here holding the trigger in. I'm going to take these 2 screws out. Once them 2 screws are out, this will just fall out. So I'm going to put this to one side again, and we're going to focus on this. Now it's exactly the same on this side as on the other side. So we're going to remove that little cable. And then the screw, what's hidden behind it, remove that. And then flip over to this side, and again, 3 screws, just remove them. And then when they're removed, just take this case off again, so that just lifts up. And then this bit, just lift it up as well. Remove the rod, grab that with my tweezers, take that straight out, just put that down here. I'm going to put my finger on the cog, turn it over, remove, is it L2? Yeah, remove L2. And then get my tweezers again, and then remove the rubber conductor bit. Just lifts straight out, put that with the other one, which is there. And then this, just lift it straight out. Put it down there, and then where's my new one? Here's my new one. As I mentioned, you can't get these mixed up. They're both the same on both sides. Just give that a little press down. There we go. And then my new little bit again, that one. Hopefully you can't see. And then I'm just going to push it in from the left to the right. Is that down? I don't know if I'm too high there. I think I'm a little bit too high. No, too high, too high, too high. Oh, it came out. Like I say, this is dead fiddly, this bit. Really, really fiddly. So I can see that side's in. Is that in? Nope, still a little bit high. Oh, I keep putting it too high. There we go, it's in. I'm going to try and show you a little bit better on that. I'm going to zoom again. So there, that's what this tiny little bit looks like. See there? It just goes under. But like I say, I work from the left hand side. I push that bit in and then push it straight forward. But like I say, it's something to do with this ribbon cable that lifts it up. But anyways, this trigger, I'm going to try and show you this a little bit better on the trigger. Right, so if I'm really close, that's where I want to be, inside there. And then as I mentioned, this is kind of like an L kind of shape. So push that in there. Hopefully you can't see, but there, that's the way it is. So the L kind of goes that way, and that's the way I've done it. And then hold the cog. Hold the cog from that side. Focus again, story of my life. And then lift this up and over. Oh, sorry, under and over. Just line it up with that hole, turn this round. And then that's the hole there that you want to have lined up so you can get your rod in. I'm going to put mine in, push it through. Is that in? No, that doesn't, to me, that doesn't look like it's in. I'm just going to remove that again because I don't think that's in. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I like stuff to be perfect. Is it in that? Is it in that time? Yeah, it's in that time. So now, again, what you want to do is that little cog on the bottom, make sure this is lined up with it. Put that over there and then put it over your rod. And then just put this case back on top. And then put your 3 screws in. So put them in. When you've got them screws in, just press this down and double check that it works. Turn it over and put the last screw in here. And then if you grab your tweezers and then you just want to put this new ribbon cable, grab it by the corner and then just place it inside here like so. There we go, that's pressed in, so hopefully you can't see that. That's what this looks like. And then we're just going to connect this back to that. So I'm going to pick this up, I'm going to put that behind, make sure it goes in, line the hole up and then put the 2 screws back in. There we go, that's what that looks like. And all you want to do is put this back on here. This ribbon cable down here, you can either hold this with your thumb here, down there, so it's kept in one place. I'll just bend it, but I'm going to hold it with me middle finger there, and then this I'm just going to bend up a touch so I know it goes through that hole. So this hole, line it through. There we go, there we go, there we go. We are through, and then that little bit hasn't been caught. Just press this back in place. Yeah, that looks good. Now I'm going to put these two screws back in, the one on the right and the one on the left. Once you've fitted them two screws, the one on the right and left, just lift this board up. It's obviously not lifting up there, so I'm just going to put my prying tool there. This side's up, and then I'm going to lift that side up. And then two silver screws, what we had earlier. Why is that not lifting up? Is it caught? It's a caught on. Well, you know what? It could be caught. It is. It's caught on the analog. Just turn that analog a little bit left or right, whichever way, and then that'll come straight up. Them two screws that we took out earlier, the silver ones, you're just going to replace them again. So I'm going to grab these and put them back in. Them screws are back in. Now all you want to do is, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do this a little bit different. This ribbon cable here on the left, if you just pull that up and it'll come straight off. And then this one over here, hopefully you can't see that one. I'm just going to lift that one out as well, remove that. Now I'm going to focus on this part. So the way you want this is that way. So the plastic, when you bend it over, it's going to stick on the battery. So I'm going to line this up with that down there. If I can. I'm not really having much fun here, am I? No, I'm not having much fun at all. Is it on? Yeah, it's finally on. I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to leave that on there, and then I'm going to shut this board. Be careful for that ribbon cable down there. Just pull it out. Use your prying tool or whatever you've got, and then that should just press down. So that part is done. You don't have to worry about that now. That's done. You shouldn't have to lift this board up anymore. As I mentioned, this just turns over and it sticks with the sticky tape on the back onto the battery. And what we want to do now is this one goes over here, and that one goes over that way. Which way am I doing these? I'm doing it that way. So down here, you want to put this side in first. So this is that one. If I can line it up, if I can see, I can't even bloody see. There we go. I can see. Press that down. Make sure that's down. Yeah, it is. So that one's in. Just double check these when you press them down, because a couple of people have had issues. And then this one just folds over and it just goes into that one. Hopefully tell you what, I'm going to do this on a different angle. I'm going to do it from this side. So that just turns over, and that just presses in there. I have to wipe my hands. Make sure that's lined up. Yeah, that's fine. So that's what that one should look like. Hopefully you can't see that, but it's flush now. Then we're going to work our way to this side. So this one is going to go in there. Come on. Are we in? There we go. That one's in. Hopefully you can't see on there. And then I'm just going to turn this one over. And then I'm going to push it in there. And this one, and the white one. And just press it down. Make sure it lines up. If it doesn't look like it's lined up, just take it out like that. Just look again and just adjust. There you go, it's gone in that time. That time it's perfect. What you want to do now is, where's my battery cover? Apologies, I had to stop the video there. I realised I hadn't put them two ribbon cables in. So the top one, this one, you just use your fingers, line it up with that, and then just press it down. Luckily with this one, it has got a line on it, so you kind of get that wrong. And then this bottom one, I'm just going to use the tweezers. Going to hold it there. press it down, make sure it's all the way. I can see it's not, there it is now, it's all the way down. Now we're going to fit the battery cover. So this one I'm just going to lift to one side, put the battery cover on top, and then this other little ribbon cable here, I'm just going to make sure that lifts over. Kind of a little bit tricky, but not too bad, not too bad. There you go. So that one, make sure that doesn't get caught. And then this one, the way that goes in, it just goes like sort of under. It's not too hard to get in. You can probably get away with just pressing it down. If I can zoom a little bit better on that. So that there's a tiny little hole over here. Just press down and then that puts it in. Last thing is to put that screw back in. Once the screw's in, you can put your battery back in. Just move this ribbon cable over here. Just move it a little bit to the left. And then don't forget to connect up on the top right. And then the battery goes a little bit under because there's a kind of thing for the wires. And then I'm just going to place the battery down, let it snap into place. There we go, that's down. And then this little bit, if you just peel the stickiness off it, or the sticky tape I should say, if I can grab the sticky tape. And then that just sticks over the battery here. Doesn't have to be perfect, just press it down, kind of line it up a little bit. And then all you want to do is just connect these. So these have got little tiny latches on them. I have to use my focus again. If I lift that little latch up and then this little latch up, and then these ribbon cables go inside here. Hopefully I can do this just with my hands. That little latch has gone down a little bit, so I'm going to push that up. I think this is the part where people have been going wrong. So that one, I felt that going in. So I'm going to close it. And then this one over here, I'm going to maybe it's come on a little bit of a different angle. Maybe it's this one. So there, if I can get a little bit closer. You can actually feel when it goes in. There, oh, that was in. There you go, that's in. Then just close it. And like I say, I think that's where people have been having issues. Now what you want to do is, we're going to work on the back case. I'll put the front to there. So this, you want to grab this piece and put it on top of here. You'll feel it when it's locked in place, so to speak. Then you've got 4 screws, what's going to go on the back. These are the ones that I put over to one side over here. So I'm going to put these in. When you fitted all 4 of them screws, just turn this over and just grab your K1 and your K2. Now these, you've got to put the bars through, but if the bars don't fit like that, what you want to do is get your little screwdriver and just put it in and just give it a little tiny twist. That'll just make it the hole a tiny little bit bigger. So just do that. So hopefully you can't see what I'm doing there, just doing that. And then these little bars, or the rods, should just go straight through. So this one is K2. So this one is going to go on the right hand side. Just push that up a little bit so it's in line. And then push that bit down. If you need something, just use your prying tool or whatever. Just push that down and snap it into place. And that's what that'll look like. And then if we do the same with this one, put the little bar through it. And then we'll just place this on top of here. The bar's slid down there, so I'm going to slide it back up. Then just press it into place. That side's in. Use my little tool to press that down. It's not going, is it? There we go. So that's both sides in. Next, what you want to do is grab this little bit. And then this tiny little thing. This goes under. So like that. And then there's 2 tiny little holes there. You just press that down and they snap into place. All this is for is just for your little light to come on. If I can focus on that a little bit better. Yeah, this is just for your light to come through. So this is your back case. Another thing with that button, if I can find it. I don't know where the button is. Bear with us a second, I will find it. Oh no, I found it. There it is. It was blended in with you. When you put this on, this might be a little bit tight as well. So all this is for is your remap button. When you hold it, you'll be able to go in remap mode. But if you're having difficulties with this, when you're pressing it, if it's not working, again, grab your little tool and just gently put it through the hole. Like gently, I mean really, really softly, because with this being so small, it might actually snap. That's just if you have an issue with clicking it. So I'm going to put that down there. Next, what we're going to do is grab this bit. We're going to feed this ribbon cable through the hole here. Just put that over like that. I'm not going to snap this into place or anything. And then this little bit, I'm just going to open the little latch, because that's what it's got. It's got a tiny little latch. I'm going to open that. This you want to put inside this ribbon cable. You want to go that way. So the metal is on that side and this is on this side. So the reason you're going to do that is you're going to pull it and you're going to press this down. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to zoom down here. So that is just going to push into here. If I can get it in. There we go, that's in. Press that down. And then I'm just going to lift this up a little bit. And there's two tiny little bits. Well, that stays on. And just press that. Now all you want to do is there's two screws that hold this into place. One there and a one there. I'm just going to quickly put them in now. They're the really, really small screws, by the way, these little tiny ones. So I'm just going to put them in, tighten it up. When you've tightened them up, you can put this all back together. So if I zoom again, I focus. That cable's just hidden behind there. I'm going to put that over there. Everything looks fine. So just press it down. Make sure everything's lined up though first. Don't if everything's not going to plan, don't do it. But luckily that's all together. Press these little buttons. Just make sure they work. Where am I? This last piece. Where is it? I've lost it again. I found it. This last piece, just put inside here. And then this just snaps on the back. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to go from top to bottom. So I'm going to go there. Oh, it came out. Probably best off putting this in upside down. It's all trial and error. So right, I'm going to put this in upside down. I'm going to hold it like that. Snap it into place. There we go. And then press this button. And it's working. Whereas my other one wasn't. It was sticking. That's why I had to use them two little things. What you want to do now is put your screws back in. So you've got a one up here again. You've got a one over there. And you've got the two on the bottom. So I'll quickly put them in. Them screws are all in. One of the last parts that you want to do is grab your L1 and R1. And these tiny circle little bits that you got at the very beginning. There's holes here. You're just going to put them in the hole. And just press down as best as you can. And hopefully they should go flush. I'm going to just give it a little bit extra with me tweezers. Just to make sure it goes all the way down. But hopefully, if I can zoom a bit better, you can see what they look like. So I'll do this last one. So that's the hole on the top. I'm just going to be putting this in the hole. So there, that's what that looks like. And then just press it down. It's not all the way down there. So like I say, I'm just going to use my tweezers. Give it a little bit of an extra help. And then it's pretty flush. It'll go obviously further down when you press it. But these, make sure you don't get them mixed up. So this one is R1. So it's that one over here. They just go straight in just like so. Press it down. Make sure it works. Press this bloody focus again. And then the L1. Press that down. Make sure it works. To be honest, press all your buttons. So that's as far as the digital triggers go down. Press your back buttons. Make sure just everything works. Last part is putting this on. This can be a little bit tricky sometimes. Push that over. The way I like to do it is just press up. Is that side gone in? Yeah, that one's gone in. So up. Focus again, Craig. And then these just hook over. I'm going to push the middle bit in. And then I'm going to lift this round. And then put that there. And that's what that should look like. The colour doesn't look too bad. It's a little bit of a different contrast. I'm happy enough with it. Tell you what, I'm going to go and sync this with my PlayStation, and then I'm going to show you how to put it into remap mode. As I mentioned, this is a brand new control pad. It wasn't synced to my PlayStation. I've just quickly done it there. So to turn it on, obviously, you just press the button as you normally would. To put it into remap mode, there's two ways you can do it. You can either go manually, holding L1, R1, down on the D-pad and X at the same time. Or if you turn this over and you hold this for about, I think it's 5-6 seconds. And then this up here, you can see there's a tiny little, well hopefully you can see there's a tiny little red light. So when that little red light's on, if you want to remap, the way I've got mine is back right is X. So if I hold them two together, it flashes. So that's remapped that. And then my back left is circle. And this one, so if I press them both together, you can see there it's flashed. And then if I hold it again, it turns the light off. So that's how you do it. So now my back right is X and my back left is circle. It's just so I can jump around corner and slide around a corner. If you need help with anything, as always, drop us a message and thank you for watching the video.